working with Amazon very early in the process, and we started SOASTA in 2006 on the premise that we could provide a faster, more efficient, and affordable way of doing performance testing for websites to ensure better user experiences as we go forward. And with that as the basic premise, we began to work with Amazon, and I think we grew up together. We began to understand the possibilities of cloud. They, I think, understood very quickly that performance testing is really kind of the killer app for cloud computing, because it doesn't have any of the issues associated that we all are discussing, whether it be data security or SLAs or those kinds of issues for whether or not you choose cloud as a deployment platform. Performance testing is, you need a lot of servers for a short period of time. You need to spin them up very fast. You're dealing with test data versus live data, and you're really not concerned about the SLS side. And it's all affordability is a key factor to it. So it became kind of the perfect fit for both sides. And I think early days we recognized some of the issues associated to it. Some of the processes were very manual. I think they understood on their side what they had to do to automate those processes. And I have to say the Amazon team has done an amazing job of innovating, probably advancing this metaphor beyond what I would have thought even they could have done over the last few years. And we built a very close relationship with them and building up our company around them. So for us, it kept me from having to spend millions of dollars on building data centers around the world to create the load for our customers. Many of our sites, by the way, are leading edge consumer facing websites. Most of them are using their sites for sales and marketing purposes. Almost all of them are using some form of social networking or social media incorporated into their marketing approach, meaning if they come out with a new product, Twitter or Facebook gets a hold of it. A great analogy to this or story is when Avatar came out and the feature film trailer for Avatar came out, the Twitter world universe began to understand it, and every geek wanted to see the trailer faster than anybody else. So about 2 million people hit their website within an hour period to see the trailer as quickly as possible. And that's what happens with social media. It has this spiking effect. A new movie comes out, a new product comes out, an event like Hallmark has with Valentine's Day. These things all come together to push huge amounts of load going after websites. Intuit's a perfect case because in their case, every April 15th, they get huge spikes. Ironically, at 10:15 at night, when everybody seemingly hits the transmit button, the late filers like myself hit transmit buttons, and they'll get spikes over hundreds of thousands of users coming to their site right away. And so what we did in their background, the largest test they ever did was 4,000 concurrent users. And they had spent millions of dollars to do it for all the reasons I mentioned earlier. And their desire was to get to a little bit more confidence of if their largest test was 4,000 users and their peak volume was 150,000 users, there wasn't a lot of confidence going into April 15th that this thing was going to be sustainable. And so we began to ramp them up, test their websites using the cloud. So we would provision a couple thousand servers using Amazon's EC2. And literally within minutes in doing it, as we've automated this process now, we can provision a couple thousand servers in 6 or 7 minutes, have an instant test environment for them. And invariably, as you ramp them up, with load going towards their site, we're monitoring not only the application, but the stack, so the load balancers, the web servers, the firewalls. We're monitoring the CDNs, and we're monitoring the end user experiences for them. So we've gotten what we've built here is kind of a business intelligence platform underneath this. And so we're, from a real-time standpoint, able to drill into, as response time goes up, where's the problem areas, where, usually it's a bandwidth problem or a load balancer problem or architectural design problem that we can identify while the test is running. And then they stop the test, go fix it overnight, and then we retest it overnight. But the power of the cloud is you literally ramped up 2,000 servers within 6 or 7 minutes. You test for a couple hours, find a problem, and tear it down, and you're only spending a few $1,000s versus millions of dollars to create that environment. And it's a powerful metaphor for enterprise companies that are looking for ways to extract value at a minimal cost. And so testing has always been kind of the cash cow of IT in terms of cost. In this way, they can actually do much more testing than they ever did at a smaller price. So over a 33-day period for TurboTax, we eventually got them up to 300,000 concurrent users hitting their site. It actually was their production site they started testing because that was the best area to understand web scale. And so at any given point in time, we'd have 300,000 users hitting a site that had 25,000 people actually filing their taxes. And this was unbelievable to them that they could actually achieve this kind of result. Amazon and us, I think we built this great partnership. We chose Amazon in 2006 because there was no other option, and they were the leaders of the concept going forward. So it was a pretty simple decision going forward. Today there's a lot more options for us, and we do work with other vendors as well, like Rackspace and IBM and Microsoft are all delivering more and more cloud data centers and giving us many more options. We kind of judge everybody from a baseline of Amazon. Amazon has probably the most maturity in their API, and their API is the most elastic of all of the APIs currently, although everybody's building up their capabilities very rapidly. And I think our engineers feel very comfortable that, given our 3-year history with them, that, that's a good environment. The servers are really solid and such. They've also continued to innovate, though. That's the thing that's been probably most impressive to us. It's not just that they created a concept, but they continue to innovate in the areas of load balancers. Their elastic load balancers are pretty interesting. They've added some monitoring capabilities that we think are pretty interesting with their notification monitors. So, from our standpoint, our relationship has been growing up together, experiencing all the ups and downs and turnarounds, but through the eyes of customers. And I think combined, we've made really a game-changing way of how do we test web applications going forward. And such. And so, it's been a really powerful and great relationship between the two companies, and I think we've helped each other out. We've provisioned over 350,000 cloud servers in the last 12 months, and so we're not the largest by far of the folks that are using cloud services out there, but we're one of them. And I think from an enterprise perspective, we provide a capability that just didn't exist before, and a way of saving cost in doing it along the way. So it's been a great combination.